Hello, and thank you for joining us. Today we're joined by Red Sanders, president of the Fort Worth-based Red Productions and one of the producers on Kendrick Lamar's music video N95. Red, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, why don't we get started with you telling us a little bit about how you got connected with Kendrick Lamar in the first place?
We had a project that was with another musician that came through and wanted to film in a museum in Fort Worth. And Fort Worth has some really world-class art museums. Not exactly an easy request because they wanted to bring a horse into the museum, but we were able to make that happen. And they remembered that. And flash forward 2 years later, and we get a call from that same person. They wanted to film a music video in a world-class art museum. And so they were like, I think that might be possible in Fort Worth again.
That's awesome. That's a really cool way to get connected.
Yeah, but I think it was the thing where it was like, the locations one time with one crew, like, help bring people back for another thing. So
yeah. Did they have a specific creative vision for Fort Worth ahead of time, or did they start to develop that when they got here to the city?
Yeah, so Dave Free directed it, and he had a really great, vision with Adam's DP, and we kind of worked through that with them remotely before they got in, just to kind of see comp images of what they were going for, and then be able to scout around town and say, like, here's things that would look similar to that. Of course, as things happen, when you get here in person and they see all these other great pieces of architecture and just areas that they could film against, they were like, oh. The main two pieces were at the Kimball Art Museum and the Modern Art Museum, and both just beautiful pieces of architecture. Louis Kahn did the Kimball, and Tada Ando did the Modern, and then the other spots around town like Botanic Gardens and the Water Garden. So it's really like a great visual playground, I feel like, for DP. So there was definitely some big shot ideas too that like we pulled off that make a small bit in there, and it was like the spark effect at the end when he's on top of the roof, and in reality he jumps off of that, and it didn't make the cut. So it's a lot went into that. On the production side, you see that and you're like, oh my gosh, that shot took so long to set up, and we didn't get the end piece. Okay.
Yeah. But I would love to see the full shot of that with him jumping.
Yeah.
Well, so to speak a little bit to Red Productions. So you founded Red Productions in 2005. You guys have obviously continued to grow and thrive in the time since here in Texas. Can you tell us a bit about what led you to start the company in Fort Worth, and what sort of unique advantages that has provided you?
Texas has been a really great home base. Like, it's always been my home. So, and we love raising. My wife and I have 3 kids now, which we love raising here in Fort Worth. And it does provide a unique backdrop, I think, in a lot of ways. You don't have to just shoot cowboy stuff in Fort Worth. I think this video clearly shows that.
Yeah.
But we also love that option's there for, like, what Taylor Sheridan and their team has been doing with 1883 and the Bass Reeves stories. So
yeah.
Diverse landscape in Texas, tumbleweeds to beautiful downtown Austin. So
we got it all.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Well, do you guys have any projects on the horizon right now that you can speak to?
Yeah. So we have Red Productions as our production company. We do a lot of brand films under that, and then we also produce the work that we under Red Entertainment develop. Red Entertainment's our original side for TV and film. We have a documentary that's coming out. It's about this comedian Gary Muledeer, and it's called Show Business Is My Life, but I Can't Prove It, because you probably haven't heard of Gary Muledeer. Maybe if you have, I don't know. But it's like he was a comedian that was always kind of like 20 feet from stardom, and but it was like came up with the likes of like Steve Martin was his roommate. And then Leno, Letterman, Conan, like a whole great cast of comics are in it. We have a lot of other projects we're in development on. Yeah.
Love Texas projects. Well, Red, thank you so much for joining us here today, and thank you for the work you do in Texas and the work it sounds like you're going to continue to do in Texas. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for what y'all are doing here at the Film Commission to shine a light on the projects shooting here and keep other ones coming here with everything from scouting to incentives and tumbleweed.
Absolutely.